Vinny from the Stream, Western North Carolina. It's February 12th. I don't usually wear red, but once a year at Valentine's Day, I put on my red velvet jacket just for you. I was going to introduce to you some of the fantastic, skillful, fun, godly people that are here at the Stream now, but it's a really lousy day. It's cold, it's rainy here, so we're just going to be inside instead. But next time you can meet them and see the new tiny house that is being built by one of the fathers and his son-in-law, and it's really being built with love and a lot of ingenuity and creativity, and we're having fun with that. And it's one of the things I hope some of you will come and visit and enjoy when the weather turns. Well, so no matter how bad things are externally, on the outside, as believers, we need to stay sunny, right? And when I'm talking about externally and on the outside, I'm thinking like socially and politically and in education and in the media, all these things. Things are strange and tense and dark, and we know that. But we also know that God has given us everything that we need in order to stand firm, and having done all, stand. And so that's what I would like to share with you in this little short video about. Amidst all the voices that are in the atmosphere and through the airwaves and the internet, I mean voices of defiance and confusion, blindness and arrogance, presumption and flat-out stupidity, we are supposed to be able to stay steady and have our lives evidence the peace and the joy, the contentedness, the grace. And my favorite definition of grace, and you know that's my middle name and it was my mother's name, but my favorite single word definition of grace is enablement. It really is God's ability in us to do anything and everything He's calling us to do. So as sons and daughters, we are called to stand, and sometimes things have to get really bad. They have to really get worse and ugly, and the ungodliness perhaps has to really surface before things change. And I believe that's what's happening. And in fact, the prayer groups with which I'm associated with and other people that I read, prophetic people, they are praying all the time into, oh God, expose these things. Let these things come to surface rather than stay hidden and buried. And I don't know as the swamp is completely drained, but the murky waters have certainly gone down low enough so that all the critters and the crocodile, alligator, leviathan creatures are being exposed for what they really are. And I think we ought to, you can email me back and we can dialogue about this, but I think it's time that as Christians we realize that just being really nice and really polite and really pleasant people, not concerned and not involved, that's not going to work anymore at all. We have to really care about the destiny of our nation, because it has a lot to do with the kingdom of God. These two things are interwoven. They're inextricably part of God's tapestry. We got to realize that these folks that are being exposed as the swamp waters go down really want the collapse of this republic. So these monsters that are being exposed are going to be seen for their disdain of America's history and destiny. And the interesting thing is, we think about Moses going to Pharaoh, John the Baptist confronting Herod, Jesus, and all that he did in opposition to the Pharisees. That was all political involvement. We think we ought not to be involved, that it's way too messy, but we must be involved. We must be involved. All right, so the leftist, elitist, globalist folks, those guys, they really not only don't want America's destiny, but they don't even want God's design and God's plan for men and women and children, and especially babies. And that's what it's coming to light, that this is not a pro-choice thing. This is a pro-abortion thing, because the enemy always wants to destroy the children, the godly seed, through whom God can bring his message of love and of truth, and through whom the forces of darkness will be exposed and defeated. So I believe, as never before, we have to rise up and call things as they are. It's infanticide. It's child sacrifice. It's the same thing as Moloch was. It's not in any way anything that on our watch in America can be permitted. So, please begin to email me back, because I think many of us have just turned a corner and we've said, this cannot go on. What's gone on in New York, what's gone on in Virginia, New Mexico, other states, it's barbaric. And as believers, we are the ones that have the truth, and we've got to speak it out as never before. I love you very much. Next time, we're going to tour the beautiful stream. I hope you will look at the website. I hope you will possibly, if you're in the Hendersonville, Asheville area, plan to come to our next Ecclesia, which is going to be March 3rd at 3 p.m. The 3rd at 3 o'clock. You can remember that. And we hope to see you then. And I love you and bless you in the name of Yeshua, Jesus, our King.